Looney's in the house. He says good morning. Cats are always on the beam. I think animals are always on the beam. I think humans, uh, it's my sense that humans have the unusual capacity as being the only animals that can get off the beam, so to speak. But we also have the capacity to accept and allow and accommodate, express and experience and expand way more of the beam than any other creature on this planet currently. And each and every one of us is a living, walking example of how much of the beam, how much of the that energetic power we're allowing in and through us. Some people are examples of being so powerfully on the beam that they're positively radiant on the planet. They're moving on the planet and they're up to good things. And of course, this could be their expression of and demonstration of being on the beam is as varied as humans are, but there's just something about people that are really on the beam. There's a magnetism, an attraction, a quality that just makes us want to be around them. And then there are people that are so exceptionally off the beam that we feel that as well. We are amazing creatures in our ability to either align with that beam of existence or to dislodge ourselves from it. But there's a phrase that sort of captivated me at one point, and I think to some degree we are self-correcting mechanisms, meaning that the more that we get off the beam, the more we get misaligned or dislodged or wobbled from this great beam of power, love, and light that's always being directed to us. How do we know? Well, life hurts. Life hurts. And, one of the great skeptical questions that the atheist or the non-believer questions about God or uses to deny the existence of God. Well, why would God create a universe or a platform where so many of his kids suffer so terribly? And it's not hard to see the suffering in the world and the evil. Only a deluded person would deny that that's going on. Evil is a very tough question. And yet, as being the only creatures on the planet endowed with free will, then we are the ones who are either using that free will on a daily basis to align more with the beam. And the beam is just obviously a metaphor, another way of saying God's will, so to speak. But I'm using it in an energetic, vital, living way of saying it rather than something that's being imposed upon us. This beam of God's will is, when we're aligned with it, is the greatest joy, the greatest bliss, the greatest meaning and purpose and delight of living imaginable. And our dislodging or misaligning ourselves from it is, of course, the greatest pain. So this is the great price that comes with being made in the image of our Creator with free will. Our free will can be used to dislodge ourselves from this beam, or it can be used to align ourselves more with it. And our lives are testimony to it. In any given point in our life, we can feel the turbulence, the resistance, the repercussions and consequence when we're off the beam. And it's our body's way of telling us, it's our soul's way of telling us that we are off course. Now, Marcy yesterday let me know that my somewhat crude analogy of how planes fly on the beam nowadays needs to be updated because all the modern planes are on GPS rather than radio signals. And that's absolutely true. And of course, GPS is just another form of signal. It's a signal that's sent from a much higher source and a much more accurate, precise way of positioning where we are on the planet at any given moment. So today's message is, per Marcy, that we all have our own internal GPS. You inside of you and me inside of me, we have a GPS that's giving us stunningly accurate, moment to moment, always being broadcast information on whether we are on or off the beam. It is moment to moment. We get, in one spiritual program, they say we get a daily reprieve because every day we're being told whether we're on the beam or off the beam. And yet, as we get smarter, as we get more intelligent, as we become more willing, more humble, more capable, more experienced, we are able on a daily basis to keep this channel, this pipeline to God, more and more open and make more and more, what's the word? Sensitive course corrections based on our GPS so that we're always allowing more of this beam. How do we know that we're allowing the beam of God? Joy, enthusiasm, anticipation, health, meaning, purpose, service, the light that we give to the world. And if that's not flowing through us, something is hurting. So maybe today we might be grateful for wherever the knot or the pain is in our existence. And instead of cursing it or wishing it would go away or complaining to God why this problem is in our life, maybe we might inquire with ourselves, what is it that I'm doing that's facilitating this knot in my being? And I'm grateful that my own GPS is telling me that I'm up to something that's blocking the beam. And how might I free that clog, so to speak? So Looney's on the beam. I vary and I fluctuate, but I'm grateful to God, and I'm grateful that all of us have this. We've advanced and evolved to the point where we have this free-willed capacity to either be on the beam or off it. Enjoy.